are gonna get better now. But you're still a drunken slob.
Yes. Things just got a whole lot better. Finally. Headbangers and Hooligans, your favorite show, it's back. Small mini vacation. I needed it. But it feels good to be back. You know yours truly, Scummalicious, is ready. After all those days that went by without talking, the little chatterbox. But I did need it, and I feel reinvigorated. I'm on the juice. I injected steroids this morning. About 80 grams of steroids, so I'm all jacked up. I'm kidding. I don't fucking steroids. I don't know anything about steroids. I'm just being stupid. Anyway. Osker. Band of the month for September. If you haven't checked it out, I encourage you to check it out. My Facebook page, Headbangers and Hooligans. Got the little Osker logo up there. It's been a while since I talked about this band. A band very near and dear to my heart. So I thought to get back into the groove, let's talk about Osker a little bit. Give a little introduction, a little backstory. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give something away. I tend to do that a lot, I know, but I have to. There are 2 albums, because they only had 2, on Epitaph Records. Treatment 5 and Idol Will Kill are in my top 50 all time. I'm getting ready to do number 15 this week, so that tells you something. And they're not number 15. Yeah, that's how much I think of this band. It is just a shame to me that they did not last as long as they should have. I know one really big reason. Drummer. They had a hard time of keeping a drummer. And in fact, I know I read in a couple places somewhere where the drummers would quit in the middle of the show. So obviously, with musicians, goofy, never know what you're going to get. I mentioned Dave Mustaine in all of his interviews. Like, he's so serious all the time. And it's like, Dave, really? Would you relax a little bit? Cheer up. It's not that fucking bad. I mean, you've had a pretty good career. I know it wasn't in Metallica, but you made a name for yourself. Anyway, 1998. That's when Osker was formed. Devin Williams, singer, guitarist, songwriter. Dave Benitez on bass. Those are the 2 main guys for Osker. A bunch of different drummers. The original drummer that I know of, this could be wrong, was Kevin Campbell, who played on the EP, I believe. They did a split with the band Blindsided, okay? Real young, though. We're talking like Devin, singer, like 16, 17 years old, when they first started recording music. And other stories that I read, he was constantly sending demo tapes to Brett Guritz over at Epitaph. And just one of those things where he's constantly shoving it in his face till he signed him, which I like that. And the key to all this, and it will always be, I said Devin and Dave, but it is Devin Williams, okay? I remember when I first heard Osker, like I said, he's 17 or 18. I was like 27 at the time. I'm like, how does that young kid have the passion and the anger and all that at that age and infuse it into his songs? Talking about it at the time, a kid that was like 8 or 9 years younger than me. I'm like, man, I want that. And believe it or not, it did that I see, for me personally. it did infuse some juice in me, so to speak. I'm like, you know what? I want to sound like him, and I want to sound like the guy from Nerf Herder, and I want to sound like the Queers. That's quite the little mashup of fucking bands right there. So who is Bad Field Trip? Well, it's the Queers meets Nerf Herder meets Osker. I mean, that's what I was kind of shooting for. Anyway. Snotty, brash, obnoxious. Okay? The EP, the split with Blindsided, very raw. It definitely sounds like a 4-track recorder, which, hey, that's a Bad Field Trip special right there. But it was a Foztex too, because it's what it sounds like. You get the tape hiss. I love it though. Really rough, raw recording. 2 songs, Harder to Forget and No Spine. But right off the bat, you get that angst that made Osker so special. Okay, on Harder to Forget, these lyrics. I have a friend, and it bothers me to know that if we fought, he wouldn't try to resolve it. And it's in your face too. When his songs, and this is what I like about his songwriting too. It's in your face, but it's also, there's other subtle meanings also. You know, there's layers. Dare I say, it's like an onion, and you peel the layers. I know that's so fucking stupid. I'm not going that far. But it's more than just him, hey, you're an asshole. You know, don't look at me. You're an asshole. There's more to it than that. But No Spine, this song, I just love these lyrics. And it's a miracle we've made it this far. And if I could, I wouldn't change it. There's nothing we can do. That's the way things are. Real fucked up despite having no spine. And I'm not going to lie to cover your back anymore. I don't care, but I do. And he repeats that a lot through the song. Yeah, you know what I mean? You can relate to that. You know? Like, somebody kind of taking advantage of you, and you know, and you say, you know what, I'm going to put a stop to this, but you don't, you know, and that's what I'm talking about. There's more to it than that. And that voice though, right off the bat, you're like, yes, he's pissed. He's Jeff Ott meets Johnny Rotten. That's the way I would describe that voice. Jeff Ott, by the way, who sang for Crimpshine in 15, and he's done some solo work. Yeah, especially with 15, if you ever, especially like the song Greed, go listen to that song. Devin sounds a lot like him, but, you know, probably a little angrier, louder. That's why I make the Johnny Rotten comparison. No, I'm not saying he's just exactly like either one, so don't get all, you know, sometimes I say stuff, people like, I can't believe you just said that. What the fuck were you thinking? It's just that he's similar to them, okay? So don't get your panties all up in a bunch. So, with that EP, that's the earliest recordings that I know of. And like I said, it's raw and kind of nasty, and that's the way it should be. You know, this ain't Good Charlotte. Yeah, this ain't music so that, you know, all the pretty young girls will come over and hang out with you in the backyard for, you know, a barbecue. He's telling it like it is. He's pissed off, and you're gonna know it. So then, after the EP, we get some demos, and this is when I first heard them. This is when I didn't know anything about them. I believe it was Punkorama 3, and the song was Alright. And Alright eventually ends up on Treatment 5, their debut full length. But the demo, and the song on Treatment 5 sounds good, but I like the demo. Something about the drums. The drums are just, they're more in your face. I don't know, just it sounds heavier. And as always, he never disappoints on the lyrics. I'm uncomfortable with myself, and your put down just do not help. The outcome is like your life shit. Don't you know when to quit? And I am not doing no right. I love it. I do. And I remember listening to it for the first time at the job I was working at. That song, I would play it every day before work. I did this for like 2 weeks. And I remember a guy that I rode with to work. He was like, God, this guy's, he's so annoying. Good. Now I'm going to play it even more. You know, I know it ain't for everybody. That's why I love it. That voice, it's going to bring out something in you. You might love it, you might hate it, but it's going to make you react. That is pretty fucking cool. And then, on another Punkorama, now I don't know if it was Punkorama 4, you know, Epitaph released all these compilations, which was really cool at the time. Because that's how I found out about a lot of bands. You know, put a bunch of different bands I've never heard, you throw them on one disc together. That's a good idea. That's when Epitaph was actually a good record label. But they're not now. Now they're Sleeping with Sirens and, you know, Drifting in the Sky. Okay, we're not going down that road. So Lucky. Yes, another song that ends up on the debut Treatment 5. And just like Alright, I like the demo version. It's just something about the drums, they sound heavier, it's just raw. I just love that sound. These lyrics. I've wasted so much goddamn precious time just worrying and complaining. I'm so spoiled, my eyes sewn shut. I thought I was caught in a rut, but I'm in no danger. Yeah, I'm lucky. Some people are more dull than me. And then, I love this middle part. And every fucking day you're doing something, how does it feel to go nowhere? Where will you be 15 years from now? Because accomplishments are nothing but instant gratification, and we're all gonna rot. God, I love that. We're all gonna rot. How can you not love those lyrics? How can you not? They're just that angst. And like I said, and he's probably like around 18, 19 at this time writing these songs. It's just, I love that. A lot of meat to these songs, and it just makes me sick because when I think about bands like Good Charlotte that people were fucking listening to and nobody knows about Osker. Yeah, this ain't the Madden Twins, you know, not the pop band that all the pretty girls want to listen to. So what happens? Finally, we get these demos, and then, of course, both those songs end up on the debut Treatment 5, which I've already gave it away, I know. The review for Treatment 5 and Idol Will Kill will be coming up here in the next couple months. But all you have to do is look at the song titles, right? Ballad of a Traitor, Numbskull, Alright, Lucky, Fuck Me, Asshole, Shitface. Yeah, sounds good to me. I'm buying that album. And here's when I really truly fell in love with this band. And you have to remember, at this time I was a gigantic NoFX fan. So they get signed and they do a show. You know, NoFX, especially at that time, and they probably still are considered, you know, if you're playing with NoFX, you've done something right. He ripped on NoFX and Fat Mike, and I remember reading talking about Devin. He was saying, you know, fuck Fat Mike. They haven't put out a good album in 10 years, and what? Hey, just shit. Sorry, I had a guest. I didn't know that you could just like pause this and then start recording again. It's so neat. I love buttons, and then figuring out that I can actually use those buttons. Anyway, all right. But yeah, so they opened up for NoFX, and all he did was just basically shred NoFX, and I just love that. Fuck Fat Mike, I'm so sick of his politics. Anyway, and then after that we get Idol Will Kill, was the second album that had Patience, Strangled, Animal. Idol Will Kill, though, is so amazing because it's Osker, but it's Osker with a more mature sound. I hate sound. I'm really sounding like a big giant douchebag today with all the, it's got layers and it's philosophical. But it is. It's a more mature Osker. He's still pissed off, but it's just not balls to the wall. It's more of a dynamic record. It's mixes up tempos and just you can tell that they were progressing as a band, and of course after that all hell broke loose and went to shit. Couldn't find a consistent drummer, and I don't think him and Dave got along the best. A lot of volatile relationships going on, and so what did we get? Well, we got an EP and the song called Stuck. It was on a compilation album, which is really good, by the way. I just discovered that one. And 2 amazing albums that a lot of people still don't fucking know. That's why I'm here, to give you this kind of information so you can go listen to this band. Please go check them out. They're worth your time. And so tomorrow it continues. Part 3 of the Scummy Hooligan. I have not forgot Trailer Trash. Yes, the same Trailer Trash that played in Bad Filter with me. The bass player is coming today. So there will be a show with him, doing like an interview. Got a lot of stuff I'm working on. Okay, I'm back. That's what this is. Even with the little flub up there in the middle of the show, I kept it together. I came back. I pushed another button, and I kept on talking. That's what professionals do. Damn it. God, it feels good to talk in. Alright, you know how to do this. Take it easy, and if it's easy, take it twice. I'm out.